in the past 1 week. And, it's very important that we put hands together for nation building. And that is why this particular platform is designed for you. So from the beginning of the show, we're going to be reeling out a plethora of topics and reports and conversations. We'll also be listening to some, insights from different individuals as related to the reports that we're looking at, of course. And as the program progresses, you are welcome to call in and drop your 2 cents as regards, whatever it is that we're discussing at that time. Yes, we have some stories that we're going to be reading out, but if you have some, a report that you'd like to have a conversation on and you want us to talk about it, of course, you can call in and also bring it to the table. You're free to do that. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM, so you can drop your comments in the live chat section as well, and we'll take them as the show progresses, just in case you're unable to reach us via the phone line. The Facebook platform is there, the YouTube platform is there. We also have our WhatsApp link as well. That's 0913 6000 430 0913 6000 430. So let's get talking, shall we? I mean, this is Mainland FM, where the conversation never stops, it never ends, it just keeps going, because we need the people who can actually make this change happen to finally listen to the voice of the people. And that's why Open Forum was put together. My name is Omobola Sandra, and I will just be reeling out all of the reports, reeling out all of the stories. And joining me in the studio, who would also be dropping his own 1 or 2 cents as well, as a concerned Nigerian that he is Cᴏᴜᴜ. Good afternoon, Kelvin.
Good afternoon, Sandra. I'm fine, thank you. Good afternoon, Lagos. Good afternoon from wherever you're listening to us from. Yes.
All right, so let's get into it. So before then, of course, today is the final day of the public holidays. I trust we all spent our holidays well, and it was well spent. I think I just put that out there. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was public holiday for a lot of people, so it was time for you to relax, just spend time with family, friends, and loved ones. And for those of us who have free time on our hands, it's also a time for you to look at 1 or 2 streams of income of yours, and try to put your hands dip your hands into something that can actually feed you some cash in those 3 days. It is possible, trust me. Okay, but then as we go back to work tomorrow, I don't know if people are if people would be in the right frame of mind to go back to work tomorrow, because tomorrow is Friday and it's almost like half a day. You are there and your mind is just in the weekend. I just want to get out of here and go home for the weekend. But then whatever it is that you're doing, if you're at work right at this time, if you're coming from work, if you're on your way to work, or if you're at home and you're listening now, just most important thing is, as Fuhad Said would always say, take care of yourself. I really hope that you're taking care of yourself. You're looking out for yourself. You're looking out for your family. You're looking out for your friends, your loved ones, your neighbor. All right. There's a Yoruba folklore that goes that anyone who you have the power to help is your neighbor. So it doesn't have to be someone living beside you, but you're just going along the way, and a colleague of yours who is struggling or one thing or the other. You can just put a smile on someone's face. All right, so let's do what we can. Let's do our part, even as we wait on the government to do theirs. This is Open Forum. The time to talk is now. We'll take a short break. When we come back, I'll start reeling the stories out, and then you can join the conversation via the phone line or via Facebook or YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM, or via text message or WhatsApp message. So many platforms for you, so it's no excuse. I don't have data. Okay, you can call in. I don't have that, but you can just link up with someone's Wi-Fi and also send a message on Facebook. But whichever platform it is, it's available for you to join the conversation. All right, so we'll take a short break now, and we will be right back. It's 7 minutes past 1, and you are listening to Open Forum on Mainland 98.3 FM.
conversations in the political, economic, and social space has become extremely important.
There's a need for a lot of people, not even the political party, those in the civil society, those who believe in Nigerian emancipation of people from the shackle of poverty.
More than ever before, Nigerians now deserve to be heard. We all need a voice.
Nowadays, we are suffering. Even from a Gari, we can't buy Gari again. Gari has got this. Gari has got as a cocaine. Food we can't buy. Rice we can't buy. We can't feed our
Jᴏɪᴜ Omobola Sandra every Thursday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Mainland 98.3 FM to lend your voice and speak to the real issues affecting the Nigerian state. Open Forum. The time to talk is now.
Programs in 2023 have created conversations and consequences that will live with us for years to come. Organizations that have been Pᴏ괜ᴜᴜ and Said Fuad on Midweek Politics every Wednesday, 1 to 3 p.m. on Mainland 98.3 FM for thought-provoking conversations, voices from the top, engaging interviews, in-depth analysis on all matters around politics, policies, and governance. Midweek Politics on Mainland 98.3 FM, bringing the right perspectives to everything politics.
Hello Lagos, I am SP Benjamin Hundeyi, Police Public Relations Officer, Lagos State Command. You are listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. If you see something, say something.
Thank you for staying with us. It is to Mainland 98.3 FM and you are listening to Open Forum. The time to talk is now. So, 10 minutes past 1. Let's see the reports that we have. Don't forget, my name is Omobola Sandra and I also have Kelvin Wafili here with me in the studio. Let's start off our conversation with the electricity tariff hike. We started the conversation around it sometime last week and it's been time coming and the conversation just keeps going on and on and on, and there's a lot that we have yesterday on the big talk. We also had the chance to rebroadcast the interview that Said Fuad had with Adiola Yusuf, who is an energy expert, who was trying to rationalize a lot of these policies that are coming out, the whys, the hows, and the wheres, the when, and all of that. So today, just to carry on that particular conversation, we're also going to be looking at statements from NLC president who gave us a statement as regards why the minister is not demanding a service reflective tariff instead of a cost reflective tariff. All right, because a lot of people believe that they are paying so much for nothing. You're paying so much and the darkness is still there, there's no light. So what exactly are we paying for? So I mean, just some few days ago as well, I had a conversation with Said Fuad, and the conversation bothered around the fact that we have non-performing distribution companies, but we had a situation where sometime last year their contract was renewed for another 5 years. Based on what exactly? What exactly informed the decision of the Ministry of Power to renew contracts with these underperforming distribution companies? All right, so why is it so difficult for us to have a conversation around cost reflective tariff rather than service reflective tariff? Okay, you promised me, I'm in band A, you promised 20 hours. Okay, no problem. Can I have my 20 hours or do I need to have it back and forth before I can have my 20 hours? I'm still paying high. I'm in band A and I'm paying 225 naira per kilowatt an hour because I'm in band A and it's 20 hours, but I don't get up to 20 hours. But I still have to pay that high amount of money. So here we are now having a conversation around cost reflective tariff or service reflective tariff. What do you think, Kevin?
Well, just like we discussed last week, and again, this issue has come to the front burner. I think, for me personally, I would choose to stay with the service tariff. I mean, because if you are charging me for a certain amount of power and you're using any other option other than the service, it's not justifiable. I mean, in the sense that I'm looking out for a 20-hour power supply and you're giving me maybe less and you're charging me in a manner that is not proportionate. I mean, in some way or other ways you want to say that's a form of extortion, that's a form of cheating. So I would like that I stay on the service, you know, where I get to be charged. I see what I'm using, I get to be charged based on what I use, and of course my payments reflect you know, the amount of power electricity I'm supposed to get. You made mention of the fact that yes, I could be in band A and I'm expecting a 20-hour power supply, but what are the chances that this 20-hour power supplies will be there?
It's guaranteed. Is it guaranteed?
It's not. We know how our power system is. On and off. Possibly at the end of the day, maybe like 12, 15. The next day it could be 10. The third day it could be like 9. So,
well, if we're going to be working with facts, I mean, there are people who have come forward who have said that, yeah, I'm in band A, but then I don't get up to this 20 hours. So what exactly, how exactly, you know, do I know that I'm actually paying for what I'm supposed to be paying for? For those who are probably wondering, band A are those who enjoy 20 to 24 hours of electricity supply daily. Band E, there's band E as well, are those who get, you know, supply of 16 to 20 hours. Then you have band C, they have 12 to 16 hours. Band D, that's 8 to 12 hours of power supply. And then you have the least, which is band E, where they're expected to have a minimum of 4 to 8 hours of power supply. And you know, in recent times, the NERC, Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission, recently approved an increase in the electricity tariff, particularly for customers under band A. But then, in reaction to that, or in response to that, we have some voice notes. We have some inserts that we'll be listening to. That's the voice of human rights activist Femi Falana, who is the senior advocate of Nigeria. So let's get his thoughts as regards this conversation. Although his thoughts weighs heavily on, you know, the power of the Minister of Power, or yes, or the authority. Let me put it that way. The authority of the Minister of Power. There's a lot, you know, that a lot of people have said in recent times as regards why the Minister of Power should, you know, have any connection whatsoever with, you know, how much people are paying for electricity supply. Let's look at it, because we have the Electricity Act 2023. Power is privatized, the power sector is privatized. So why is the Ministry of Power, or why is the Minister of Power heavily invested or heavily involved as regards the regulation of pricing in the power sector? So let's listen to Femi Falana, and then we'll come back. Don't forget, the phone line is open. You can share your thoughts. All right, so stay with us. The next voice you'll be listening to would be that of Femi Falana.
Well, I just listened to the Minister of Power, Mr. Adebayo Adelabu, and I think I also listened to him on Friday with profound respect. I have studied the provisions of the Electricity Act of 2023. I cannot identify the role of the Minister of Power with respect to the increase in electricity tariff. That is the exclusive responsibility of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. And going by the law, increase cannot be justified under the Electricity Act. Specifically, Section 116 of the Act provides that a licensee shall be allowed, a licensee that operates efficiently shall be allowed to recover full cost of his business activities. There's nobody who can say to that the discos are operating efficiently in Nigeria. To that extent, the provision of the law has not been met. Secondly, in order to increase electricity tariff in the country, the proposal from the licensees, the discos, shall be published in the Federal Government Gazette and newspapers that have wide coverage in the country, for the purpose of alerting consumers and other stakeholders in case they want to raise objections. And they have 30 days to do that. Those objections should be considered at a public hearing by the Commission. It is when there is an agreement substantial that the proposal will be allowed to increase electricity tariff. If it is not accepted, it is not going to be allowed. So the point I'm making therefore is that the federal government or the Minister of Labour and the Commission did not operate under the law. Secondly, by November last year, the Minister of Power, Mr. Adelabu, did say this electricity tariff, they're not talking of subsidy, electricity tariff, because Nigerians were undergoing some hardship, and today the hardship has become harrowing for the majority of our people, whether you call them people in band A or band C or whatever. Nigerians are undergoing excruciating economic difficulties. Now coming to the reasons adduced by the minister, with profound respect, in 2021 the federal government announced that by 2022 subsidy in the electricity sector will be ended, and by March 2022, the then Minister of Finance and National Planning, Madam Zainab Ahmed, announced publicly, so you can Google, you will find it, that the federal government had secretly ended electricity subsidy, but were unable to do so in respect of fuel subsidy because of the forthcoming election. So if the federal government announced, the most competent person, the Minister of Finance at the material time in 2022, that we had ended electricity subsidy, where for goodness sake, as the Minister of Power got the figure of 3 trillion in 2024. The same minister did say last year, in January this year, I think January 15 to be specific, when government was under pressure from the IMF, we are spending 700 billion. We spent 700 billion last year on electricity subsidy. We cannot afford same. But by last Friday, the figure had metamorphosed to 3 trillion. Those look like your biggest fears had happened. What are your initial thoughts, Mr. Falano? Well, I just listened to the Minister of Power, Mr. Adelabu, and I think I also listened to him on Friday. With profound respect, I have studied the provisions of the Electricity Act of 2023.
Yes, that was the voice of Femi Falana, senior advocate of Nigeria, who was sharing his own thoughts as regards the provisions of the Electricity Act 2023, the role of the Minister of Power with respect to increase in electricity tariff, and also subsidy payment. Has it been done? Has it not been done? How did they arrive at these figures? You're listening to Open Forum on Mainland 98.3 FM. Let's have a conversation. What are your thoughts? What are your reservations? What are your concerns as regards the electricity tariff hike, especially after listening to Mr. Femi Falana? As regards efficiency, I think it's something that we can all agree on collectively as Nigerians, that our discos are underperforming as regards provision of electricity supply in the country. But then a lot of conversations have also arisen as regards subsidy on electricity. What exactly is going on? I thought this had been done. Just the same way we are also questioning the removal of subsidy on petrol. But then there's still a lot of factors or forces, permit me to use that word, that still come to play. Transparency in the electricity sector. What are your thoughts, especially coming from what Mr. Femi Falana said? Let me start with you, Kelvin Wafili. But before then,